have the privilege to address you here today for maybe a few hours, inshallah. I pray that this is going to be very beneficial. I begin with a dua that the Prophet made, alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma inni a'udhu min ilmin la yanfa'u. Oh Allah, I seek refuge with you from knowledge that doesn't benefit. I think that this, what we're going to do today is going to be life-altering for us. I believe that you're going to get some things here that will change your outlook about life and about the work that we're doing. This is a da'wah workshop. And a workshop means that Imam Siraj is not going to just give you a lecture. It means that it's going to be interactive. So I want for you to help me by interacting with me. How many of you came, and you got to be honest with me, how many of you came because you thought that this is going to be a da'wah workshop? Raise your hand. One person. See, I thought that. The rest of you, why did you come? What did you understand? Because I had understood that I was going to be with you from 12 to 6 p.m. working. I mean, working from 12 to 6 p.m. Why did you come? What did you expect? You got to talk to me. There's going to be a mic back there, so you can use the mic. Please raise your hand and tell me why you came. What did you think? You thought you were going to just hang out with Imam Siraj for 6 hours? That's what you thought? We're going to chill? We're going to eat together, man. We're going to have some fun? That's what you thought? Well, I'm going to surprise you. We're going to do some work. Let me first tell you a little bit about the world in which we live. Some 7 billion people. 2.2 billion of them are Christians. 2,200,000,000 Christians on this earth. 2,200,000,000. 1,800,000,000 Muslims. 1,800,000,000 Muslims. 1,100,000,000 Hindu. 1,100,000,000 Hindu. 500 million Buddhists. 500 million Buddhists. Now you're going to tell me how many Jews on this earth. You raise your hand and tell me how many Jews. Yes, ma'am.
300 million?
Wow, very good. Happens to be the wrong answer, but that was good. Anybody have any idea how many Jews on the planet? How many? 1 million? 1 billion? 1 million? You saying 1 million? For real? You believe that? Huh? And you hope so? No, that's not good. No, you don't hope so. No. Actually, you're not that far off. There's only 15 million Jews. 15 million Jews on this planet. Dawah. Imam, I'm going to ask you a question. And it may be embarrassing, Imam. Don't answer. No. But you have to tell us, Imam. Imam, have you ever been to Las Vegas? Yes. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. They say, what happens in Vegas? Stays in Vegas. Imam, I'm with you. I've been to Las Vegas many times. Muslims don't realize there are a lot of masjids in Las Vegas. A lot of them. Let me tell you about one. Imam, the next time you get a chance, I want you, when you go to Las Vegas, I want you to visit a masjid called Masjid Ibrahim. Masjid Ibrahim is the first masjid built by an American Muslim woman. Hasibullah, pharmacist. She said she wanted to build a masjid, and she went in her pocket and paid $3 million to build the masjid. May Allah bless her, give her Jannah. How many ever heard of a city called Fort McMurray, Canada? Fort McMurray, Canada. You heard of that? MashaAllah. For real. The first people ever raised their hands, yeah, I know Fort McMurray. How you know about Fort McMurray, Canada? Fort McMurray, Canada is northwest. It's a very, very beautiful place. Alhamdulillah, rich oil. Imam did a Jummah prayer there. In the Jummah prayer, we had a fundraiser. Now, I want you to imagine this, right? We didn't rent no hotel. We didn't have no dinner. I did the Jummah prayer, a fundraiser for the expansion of the masjid. Jummah prayer. You know how much money we raised? $1,250,000 Jummah prayer. Last year I was in Memphis, Tennessee. We did a fundraiser for a Muslim school called Pleasant View School, Memphis, Tennessee. We raised $950,000, a fundraiser for a Muslim school. What's my point? Muslims have money. Allah's blessed us with money. And appropriately, we build masjids. We should. This beautiful structure, this beautiful masjid that you built, and I'm sure you're still expanding. Imam, trying to raise money for your masjid. And we spend a lot of money raising money. We spend time and resources building masjids, Islamic school. I had the fortune of going in December to Kenya. One of the most extraordinary trips of my life. I got an opportunity to see, I went with an organization called Helping Hand for Relief and Development. I got an opportunity to see the wells that we built. We have fundraisers, we built wells for the people in Kenya. I went there and I pumped the wells as the people from the village came, and they appreciate the fact that, you know, wow, look at them, they came, they built these wells. A lot of these people had to walk miles to go to get water. So now right in their village, they can get the water. We went to orphanages. You know, we went to a place, you know, an orphanage, the people invite us into their homes, and, you know, their homes is like, from that window to about this, where the microphone, where the speaker is, so about where that pole is, that's their home. So I went in there, and most of them had a bed. Some of them had a bed and a chair. I said, where's the kitchen? Ain't no kitchen. Where's the bathroom? Ain't no bathroom. We went to the schools that we built for them. And you know what? I've been to fundraisers where we raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for relief. ITNA relief, Helping Hand for Relief and Development, Islamic relief, different organizations. So I see we spend money on relief, we spend money on schools and masjids, but nobody spend money on da'wah. Nobody go in their pocket and say, I'm going to give $3 million for da'wah. Nobody does that. So we got all these masjids and all the budgets and all the things that we do, and we undervaluate da'wah. Calling people to Islam is like, you know, let Imam Siraj do that. Let Dr. Jamal Badawi do that. Let this one do that. But, you know, da'wah, hardly anybody do any da'wah among the Muslims, very, very few. I think there's a reason for it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take a couple of minutes, and I want you to raise your hand and tell me the reluctancy of giving dawah, inviting people to Islam, the hesitancy. I notice, do you agree that there seems to be some reluctance, hesitancy, misgivings maybe? So I want you to raise your hand, and what's going to make this workshop work better? If you talk to me. If you don't talk to me, it's going to be a disaster. Because you know you're going to get me mad. I'm mad. So in order for you to help me, you got to help me by talking back to me. So somebody raise their hand and tell me why are you reluctant to give dawah? So Pervez, you started off. Because Farhan, Pervez, you started off. Tell me what are the reasons you think that people hesitate to give dawah? Can I get someone to write on the board? I want someone to write a few points. Can I get yes, you come. Now, if you give me a good one, I'm gonna write on the board. So if I say don't put it on the board, you know what that means. Okay, give me a reason.
Sometimes I think we feel that we don't have enough knowledge.
Perfect, good. Insufficient knowledge or not enough knowledge. You know what? I don't really know that much. You know, I don't want to give dawah. I just know a little bit. That's good. Good. That's an excellent one. Someone raise your hand, brother or sister. Yes.
I think post 9/11, talking about religion and workspace and all these people, so just having that comfort level right there.
Good. So, so we summarize saying lack of comfort level. And I get it, we get it. The atmosphere, especially now after 9/11. Good. Yes.
Language barrier.
Language barrier. Good. Language barrier. Yes.
I believe, feel that before we start dawah, Muslim should be known from its conduct.
Okay.
People should realize who we are.
Got you. But
And we don't implement ourselves.
listen, you're answering a very good point that we're going to cover. But my question right now is, why are we hesitant to give the dawah? Because we feel that our conduct is not sufficient yet?
Conduct is not.
Okay, good. Very good. Yes.
I mean, a lot of us are, as minorities, we're often we're the only Muslim in our environment, right? So it's like you're teaching, and you're talking to people who they're meeting for the first time, okay? And so it's more like an isolation.
So you feel isolated, kind of. So why?
Not isolated, but oftentimes when you're the only person that you're the
I got you, but tell me, what is that inside of you that makes you hesitate? See, there's something within you, right? See, I think you're on it. You're on something, right? So let's just develop it a little bit more, right? Say, man, you know what? We only like 1%. We like 1%. Ah, there you go. Lack confidence. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. The other one I wasn't gonna put on the board. That one, I like it. Yes.
I was gonna say maybe there's just a despair about how much. It's almost like you're fighting against a tsunami of negative headlines.
Excellent.
That you're just like, is it gonna really make a difference? I
Good.
don't think it makes a difference.
Is it gonna even make a difference? Excellent. I love that one. Good. I gotta hear from some sisters. Listen, I got a fatwa from the Imam. The sisters can talk. The Imam said it. I said, Imam, I need a fatwa. He said, yes. Yes, ma'am. Again? Ha! Excellent. I was hoping someone would say that. Concern about safety. That is so, sister, let me tell you something. That is so on it. May Allah bless you. I knew there'd be barakah in the sisters. I knew it. Sisters. That's it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Lack in faith. Good. Yes, sir.
We are not giving so much importance to
Yeah.
for prayer and other things.
Dawah is low priority. very low priority. Everything comes before dawah. And in reality, you're going to discover in a few minutes, dawah is the most important. We put the least, Allah puts the most. Because every prophet was a da'i. That's why they came. They came to give dawah. How many prophets have there been? According to this hadith, the Prophet said there have been 124,000 prophets. How many did the Quran name? 25. And all of them gave dawah. How significant is it? Good. You did a good job. So I want you to get a chair and sit next to me because you're going to be my regular man. Can I get a chair here, Sheikh? Get one chair here. It's my right hand. It's my right hand, left hand man. Thank you. Yes. What Islam?
I think most of the Indian population came from countries where dawah was not a focus, and they thought that we didn't want someone doing that job.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, how many of you ever heard of the historian Arnold Toynbee? Could you put that? Good, good. Could you put that? Write that Arnold Toynbee. He's spelling Toynsbee. Toynbee. Arnold Toynbee. Turn it to the next page and put Arnold Toynbee. Good. Let me tell you something he said. By the way, he's a British historian. He wrote a book that I don't recommend you read. No, let me tell you why. It's 12 volumes called The History of the World. Fascinating book. I'm talking as if I read it, right? I didn't read it. 12 volumes, The History of the World. And he said this: of the 22 civilizations that appeared, 19 of them collapsed when they reached the moral state that the United States is in right now. It's deep. This is deep, man. Of the 22 civilizations that appeared, 19 of them collapsed when they reached the moral state that the United States is in now. He died in 1975, which means that it's worse now than it's ever been. How serious is our condition right now? How serious is the condition of America? How serious is the condition of the world? Now, I'm going to say something. Remember, Bashir, you may get mad at me. I painted a picture years ago. Brother reminded me last week. He said, you know, Imam Siraj, 15 years ago, you said this. And I'm going to tell you what I said. I said, looking at the society, I said the society is like a car speeding down a steep mountain full of ice and snow, or a car with no brakes, driven by a blind man, high off of drugs. Huh?
What's the Nobel Prize?
You know, the problem is, though, the problem is the passengers in the back seat are Muslims. Whose hands are on the throttle? Whose feet are on the brakes? It's not the Muslims. The condition. Let me share this with you. I need you again. Put Sweden. "46% of the population of Sweden are atheists. That means 4,515,066 atheists. Netherlands, 40% atheists. 6,769,320 atheists. I want you to listen to these numbers. United Kingdom, 25,920 atheists. 25 million atheists. 40% of the population. France, 27 million atheists in France. Germany, 30 million atheists. Japan, 58 million atheists. You see this brother, this young man sitting here? This brother right here? You see him? You see these guys here? They're brilliant. You know why they're brilliant? They don't have to take no notes. They got it all here. Yeah. All I gotta do is ask him what I just said. He tell me what I just said. Tell him what I just said. How many atheists in what did I say? Germany? That's the last one I said, Germany? Huh? Actually, I told you. 30 million. You see what I'm saying? Japan, 58 million atheists. 58. Are you kidding me? 58 million atheists? China. You got your seatbelts on? 1,029,330,000 atheists. 75% of the population are atheists. Are you kidding me? Are you starting to see what's going on right now in the world? Do they need Islam? Do they need the Muslims? Do the Muslims even care? Now, I'm going to say something you may agree or disagree. All the things that's happened, by the way, I was in Norway last year, and for the first time in the history of Norway, there are more atheists than Christians. 39% of the population of Norway are atheists. Before I do, let me say this. Let me tell you something about Shaitan. And listen carefully to the Quran. When Allah ordered Iblis to bow down, right? And he refused. Allah said, "Ma mana'aka la'alla tasjuda idh amartuka." Why didn't you bow down when I ordered you to? Listen to what he said. "Ana khairu minhu. خلقتني من نار خلقته من tin." You created me. It's Shaitan. He ain't got. You created me. Of fire, you created him of mud. I'm better than him. You created me. Of fire, you created him. And then listen to what he says. قال ربي, my Lord, فأنذرني إلى يوم يبعثون. Give me time until they are resurrected. This is the Shaitan talking about. He knows the day of resurrection is here. I'll give you another one. Go to Muslim Hadith, Kitabul Iman, in the Book of Faith. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said that whenever there's an ayat of the Quran of prostration, and the sons and daughters of Adam prostrate, Shaitan goes running, crying, "Woe to me! They were given in order to prostrate, and they prostrated. فَلَهُمْ Jannah, for them will be Jannah. And I was given the commandment, and I refused. But for me is the fire." Who's this talking? So my question to you, is Shaitan a believer? Rabbi! Khalaqtani! You people start talking about atheists, you get the Big Bang Theory and all. Shaitan is saying, yo man, Allah created me. Shaitan a believer? Sheikh ain't buying it. He's saying, you know what? I don't know, man. I'm thinking about this. أبى واستكبر وكان من الكافرين. Shaitan was a disbeliever. Because belief is not mere acknowledgement. If belief is just acknowledgement, he believer. But he disbelieve, he disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah don't need your acknowledgement of him. Yeah, Allah, no, come on, man. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than just saying, you know. Now, all the stuff that's happening in the world, happening in America, let me, remind me to tell you about later on the Catholic schools in America. Remind me to tell you about that later if I forget. All the stuff that the people are doing, you know who I blame? You know who I blame? Who do you think I blame? I blame us. I blame the Muslims. Let me tell you why. Let me give you my evidence. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said that there was a prophet that was beaten by the people so much that his face began to bleed. And he wiped off the blood from his face and said, Allahumma ikfir li qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamun. Oh Allah, forgive my people because they don't know. Forgive my people because they don't know. Here the prophet making an excuse for the people because they don't know. These people don't know. Many of them don't know. And the ones who do know are not telling them. They don't know, and we ain't telling them. Let me give you another proof that it's us. The Prophet, peace, and you find this in Bukhari Hadith, Kitabu al-Anbiya, the book of the prophets, book Bukhari Hadith. Allah said, the Prophet said, Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will bring Noah and his people. And he will say to Noah, and notice who Allah speaks to first. هل بلغت Did you convey the message? قال نعم يا رب. Yes, I did. Then Allah will ask his people, هل بلغكم? Did he convey the message? And they will say, no warner came to us. Now Allah, when he asks questions, he don't ask because he don't know. He knows the answer. But he's teaching us a lesson. And then Allah goes back to Noah. Now they lied. Allah goes back to Noah and said, who will be your witness that you delivered? Now, Noah could have said, وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا, Allah is sufficient as a witness. You know I did it. He said, where's your witness? You know what Noah gonna say? Muhammad wa ummatahu. Muhammad is my witness. Muhammad and his ummah is my witness. Why? Why us? How we know? And he says that Muhammad and the Prophet said, you will bear witness. Because Allah gave us that honor. Antum shuhada Allah fil ard. You are Allah's witnesses on earth. How we know? لقد أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه فلبث فيهم ألف سنة إلا 50 عاما. And we sent Noah to his people and he stayed among them 950 years. But look at the question. He go to Noah. Did you do the job? Is da'wah fard? Da'wah fard? No. What is it? Sunnah. Do what you want to do. Do it, don't do it. Huh? What is it? Sunnah? Sunnah. Check what you say. Fard. You're both right. It's fard kifaya. It's not fard ayn. It's fard kifaya. Like jihad, fard kifaya. Like janazah, fard kifaya. Somebody got to do it. Last Wednesday, I had a national manna meeting in my office. Muslim Alliance of North America. They canceled the meeting because we had a snowstorm. Remember last Wednesday? Same night, we had the Magistrate Shorter meeting in my office. Canceled it. Snowstorm. In the afternoon, after the door, we had Salatul Janazah. You think we canceled it? Of course not. And it was packed. Because it's Fard Kifaya. Somebody got to do it. Same thing with da'wah. Somebody has to do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, let there be an ummah among you calling toward what is good and what is right. That ummah, somebody got to do it. Imam, that's your job. We don't have to do it. Imam, you have to do it. You have to do it. Because somebody have to do it. For the kifaya. So, we have to do it. Now, any businessmen here? Any businessmen? All right. I want to get the exact data, so please pardon me. You know I have it. Give me one more minute. important. So I'm taking my time to get here. That's enough of this. Let me put what I do have, and I'll try to find the other one. There are two things we have to be concerned about. One is the product, one is the salesman. Product and the salesman. Sometimes you can have a very, very, very good product, but bad salesman. You're not going to do very well. So you need a good product and you need good salesmen. Other times you have a very, 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 very bad product, but you have good salesmen. For instance, cigarettes. Good product or bad product? Bad product. A little bit bad or really bad? According to the World Health Organization, WHO, if the nations of the world do nothing about it by the end of the 21st century, listen carefully, 1 billion people would have died as a result of smoking cigarettes. But yet, they sell so many cigarettes. People know it. Warning, could be detrimental to your health. And people still do it. Our government takes in from tobacco $14.5 billion. They get theirs off the top. Our government. You know Arnold Toynbee, the same one I mentioned earlier, know what he said? Civilizations die from suicide, not murder. Civilizations die from suicide, not murder. Cigarette smoking is suicide. There's a Muslim store that I go to every week to get my newspapers. And you know, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how much cigarette smoke costs. Cigarette smoke. Some of you maybe you can tell me. So I found out, a brother told me in the store, he said, Imam, I'll be honest with you, our biggest sellers are cigarettes. He said a pack of cigarettes costs $10.50 a pack. $10.50 a pack. Imam, I found out, and I didn't believe it at first. I mean, I researched it. I didn't believe it. They said in New York, people who make less than $30,000 a year income, 25% of their money is spent on cigarettes. That's hard to believe. I want to tell you here to make sure everybody know, cigarettes are haram. Ain't no makruha, no sheikh, the sheikh said it's makruha, it's haram. If you go to Islamic, Fatawa Islamiyya, some of the great shuyukh, they all agree cigarette smoking is haram. It's destructive. You say, Imam, you know, all these people die of cigarette smoking, it's their problem, it's their fault. But do you know that every year in America, 42,000 Americans die from secondhand smoke? You smoking cigarettes, but your child is dying because they're inhaling the smoke that you're doing. Alcohol, good product or bad product? Oh, there you go. See that? See that? Oh, man. Oh, man. Our government takes in revenue from tax of alcohol, $9.7 billion our government makes. Alcohol, good product or bad product? Why people drink it. Went to another Muslim store, and one day, I've been going to the store for years. I buy my newspapers, right? And one day I saw a sign in the store I never saw before. And I kind of got excited, I'll be honest with you. The Muslim store, right? And it says, no alcohol sold here. I said, Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! No alcohol sold here. And I looked carefully, no alcohol sold here on Sundays. Before 2 p.m. Bad product. Haram. Why are we selling it? Because there are people who are making profit. Because I don't have my in front of me, I'm going to tell you what I know pretty much, that's pretty much accurate. The tobacco industry spends $11 billion a year advertising. $11 billion a year advertising. What do you mean advertising? With slick campaigns getting you to buy their product. That's a lot of money, right? If you spend $11 billion advertising, what you expect to get back? Give me a number.
100 times.
Give me how many? 20 billion? How about over $200 billion? Alcohol. I think they spend $2 billion a year advertising. They bring in about $208 billion. See, we can say that, astaghfirullah, it's a shame, but it's a formula. The formula is, if I want my product to be successful, I got to advertise. If I advertise, it's going to be successful. How much money do we spend advertising on Islam? How much money, how much time, how much effort do we put in trying to convince people to be Muslim and not going to put money in your pocket? It's not for profit. But it is going to put the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will reward us on Yawm al-Qiyamah. See this? And by the way, how old you got to be before you can start smoking cigarettes? Legal. Oh yeah, okay, very good. I got your point. Legally. 18. Now, you want to hear the facts? 90% smokers started before 18. You got to understand what I just said. I don't think you got it. We say we ain't selling to people under 18. You got to be 18. 90% of smokers began before the age of 18. How old do you have to be before you can start drinking alcohol? 21. Oh, that's cute. 20% of the alcohol consumed in America are consumed by underage drinkers. How they do it? Is it a good product? No. People born, baby come out of the womb and say, you know, Mom, I want a cigarette. Do they ask for alcohol? No. Somebody convinced them. Slick people who want to make profit, who don't care about you. See, the funny thing about the Muslims, say what you want to say about the Muslims, but the Muslims care about people. You know, by the way, I'm waging a campaign to get Muslims in New York City to stop selling haram, stop selling cigarettes, stop selling pork, stop selling alcohol. Consider this. A woman comes into the store. She's a non-Muslim. Her name is Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones say, Muhammad, give me some pork. Muhammad say, you know, Mrs. Jones, I know you want pork, but we realize that pork is no good for you. I'm not going to sell you pork. I got something better for pork than pork. I got some veal chops. These things are nice. Take that instead of the pork. You see, she would at least respect you. She may even try it. You know, Muhammad, I tried that. Those veals are nice. Those veal chops are really nice. We have to be Muslims. We have to start really practicing the faith. Because the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, In Allah Ta'ala tayyibun la yaqbalu ila ta'iba. God is good and only accept that which is good. The profit that you make from cigarettes out is haram. Don't you get it? The profit is haram. So what am I saying here? The point that I'm making is that people are serious about their business. They're serious about making money. And they do whatever they have to do to make money. What about dawah? What about dawah? You can save the people. Now, brothers and sisters, see, how many of you, like me, how many of you, like me, became Muslim? That weren't born Muslim. How many of you, like me, born? Okay, good. Imam, you right? Okay. 3 or 4 of us. The rest of you born Muslim, right? As I was saying to the youth this morning, we know what it's like to be a non-Muslim. We don't have to experiment. We know what it's like, man. Imam Bashir, no, I may not know. You know what I mean? We know what it's like to live in the dunya. We don't want no, Imam, do we want any part of that? We left that. And this is why the Prophet called it halawatul iman, the sweetness of faith. One of the signs of the sweetness of faith is that you hate to go back to kufr after Allah saved you, like you hate to go back into the fire. That's fire for us. Thank you. That's fire for us. So my question is this. You looking around, you see the car going down the hill, and all, hey, what are we doing about it? What are we going to do about it? I don't know enough. I'm all the stuff that you put there, I'm going to address. I don't know enough. Huh? The Prophet got Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Yeah, a few ayahs of Quran. With those few ayahs of Quran, he went to work. The little bit that he didn't have the whole Quran, 23 years. But whatever he had, he shared it with the people. And I've come to the conclusion that either we scared, don't know. Do we have reason to be concerned about giving dawah? Yes. Permission to be honest? Permission to be honest? Some prophets lost their lives giving dawah. Go to the Quran. Kill them. Allah allowed it. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَفْعَلُ مَا يُرِيدُ. Allah does what He pleases. You know what, something? I'll be honest with you. A true Muslim is honored to be a martyr for Allah. He's honored. He's honored to, you know, you can scale. It's an honor. Because the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, no one who dies and go to Jannah will want to come back to this dunya, even if he's given everything in the world, ilal shaheed, except a martyr. He wanted to go back and be killed 10 more times in the way of Allah because of the great honor that they find with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ain't that so? A martyr, so, I mean, like really a Muslim martyr? Oh, Akbar. Now, so be honest with you. there's some dangers. Study the Quran. You remember, do you remember, break the shake up. Okay. Do you remember, do you remember when we were young and somebody said bad things about us, our mother told us to say this? Do you remember what the mothers used to say? Anybody? Imam, you remember? Ah, yeah. Say it. Stop. My mother told me that. Mother, they say this about me. Son, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never harm me. Mom was wrong. Words can harm you. Sometimes words are worse. I'd rather get hit sometimes than words. Sometimes it can eat you up on the inside in ways that you can never imagine. Remember Abu Dhar, he said about Bilal, oh, son of a black woman. You know what's funny, Imam? I looked at that hadith, right? The Prophet got angry at Abu Dhar and said, you still got some traces of Jahiliyyah in you, right? But the average African American, when they see that hadith, we say, I am the son of a black woman. Yeah, and? He was the son of a black woman. Allahu Akbar. You know what I'm saying? So what? But for that was he trying to insult. So the Prophet said, you still got traces of Jahiliyyah. Remember, we'll come back to that, inshallah. So the point I'm making here is that if you study the Quran, often Allah is consoling His Prophet. If that rejection is hard on you, it's not you they're rejecting the signs of Allah. I know what they say, how it affects you. I know that. I understand that. Because words. Now I'm telling you something. When you do dawah, there are going to be people that come against you. I'm going to give you 2 examples. How many of you ever heard that Imam Siraj was an unindicted co-conspirator in the First World War Trade Center? Raise your hand if you heard that. For real? Did you hear it? Good. Let me tell you something interesting. Remember the First World Trade Center? What year was that? 93, right? Mary Jo White, she's a lawyer, U.S. lawyer. During the trial, she said, it's not just Sheikh Abdul Rahman, there are many others. And so the defense said, who are they? She said, I'll get you a list. She came out with a list of 173 Muslim leaders. I'm one of them. I think it was 173. And listen to the words, these are the exact words she said. She said, the following unindicted may be alleged as co-conspirators. What does that mean? I mean nothing. Following unindicted, they're not charged with anything. Are they alleged? No. Maybe. Alleged as co-conspirators. It's laughable. It's really laughable, right? So the next day, New York, there's on the paper, Imam Siraj Wahhaj, unindicted co-conspirator. So ABC called me and said, Imam Siraj, you'd like to come interview you? I said, sure. I said, but tonight, I got a lecture at a university, so I have to finish by this time. They said, okay, they came. Now, Imam, you've been interviewed by the media. I've been interviewed by the media. Sometimes you feel like I didn't do that good. Every once in a while you say, you know what? I did good. That day, I did good. No, I mean, I know it. Because I don't know if I was fasting that day or what, but I was shocked. And I didn't let them I gave them no room to do nothing. And they interviewed me, I think, 3-4 hours. Really. And so I said, I gotta get going. And they said, well, Imam, we want to get one more shot of you as you go into your car. So I go to my car and I drive off and go to the university. Meanwhile, people calling me and say, yeah, Imam Siraj, they're saying, talk to Imam Siraj Wahhaj, interview one of the unindicted co-conspirators. And tonight, 11 o'clock news. So we get on, we turn it on. There I am, with my back to the camera, running to my car, as if I had no comment. That's criminal. That's criminal. Nothing. Be honest. We had interviewed Imam Siraj. This is what he said. So I said, you know what? And that's the price I have to pay. I read books, and in the books, they don't say they were 173. You know, unindicted may be alleged. They don't say it because they say that. People say okay, but they say no. Now they say Imam Siraj implicated in the World Trade Center. Unindicted co-conspirator. Even unindicted co-conspirator is not anything real, but at least maybe alleged. Right? Let me give you one more. What I'm trying to say to you that when you want to do this work of dawah, there are going to be people coming after you. There's a book, Paul Sperry. Paul Sperry wrote a book called Muslim Mafia. What he said about Imam Siraj, they said Imam Siraj is giving shahada to gang leaders. That's true. Allahu Akbar. He's giving shahada to gang leaders, and he's training them with Uzis how to take over America. Please. For real, honest. Any of you believe that? You believe that? You better not, man. I mean, for real. I'm training people with Uzis to take over America. Why am I not in jail? Because people know what they're doing. They play on the ignorance of the people. So brothers and sisters, I'm saying to you, I understand, man, because this job, giving dawah has its, hey, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam thrown in the fire. Why? What he do? Giving dawah. I have a long list of things how they're going to come talk about you. But if you're going to do it for Allah, you do it for Allah. And dawah is for Allah. I need a clean page. All right, I want you to give me your most effective da'i in history. Raise your hand and give me one. No, history, all of history. Good. Muhammad sallallahu. Good. Excellent. That's easy, man. Come on. That's everybody. Okay, give me another effective da'i, one of the greatest da'i. Malcolm X. Come on. Salahuddin? And really? MashaAllah. Good. Who else? Musa, good. Good. So far, you only have one of mine. Umar bin Abdulaziz. You still only got one of mine. Sisters, I need someone who's the great da'i, the best da'i ever. Huh? Who? Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein. Yes. Yusuf Estes, Allahu Akbar. I never thought about that. I'm going to call him and tell him you said that. Yes. Isa, good. Umar ibn Khattab, we had somebody said it. Yunus, good, very nice. Yunus, surprising one. How many people believed with Prophet Yunus? How many were they? 100,000. Good, very good. Allah mentioned 100,000 believed after Yunus went back to them. Very good. Yunus, two of mine are still not up there yet. Two of the best da'i ever. Wardi Muhammad, that's not him, but yes. I'm not going to stop until you tell me mine. Yeah. I'm prejudiced. Huh? No, not Siraj Wahhaj. No, not Siraj Wahhaj. No, good Lord, no. Come on, sisters. Ibrahim, there you go. That's my finalist. My finalist is Muhammad and Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And the third one, see, and most people forget about it. But perhaps the greatest da'i ever. Yusuf Bilal. Huh? No! Noah, one of the greatest da'i ever. Maybe the greatest. I'm struggling between Muhammad alayhi salam and Noah and Ibrahim. I go back and forth. Sometimes I put Noah number one. How many years did Noah preach? 950 years. How many people accepted his teaching? Few. According to Ibn Abbas, 80 people. 950 years. 80 people. You say most effective da'i. I still maintain that. Listen to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam conversation he had with his wife Sarah. Ya Sarah, laysa ala wajhi ardi mu'min ghairi wa ghairuki. Oh Sarah, there's not one believer on the face of the earth other than you and me. How many followers did Abraham have? Not many. Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. How many followers? How many followers do he have? Still counting. How many did we say in the beginning? How many followers? How many? 1,800,000,000 followers under the ledger of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and people are still coming into Islam because of his da'wah. Now, one Jummah, Imam is preparing the khutbah, and his wife says, honey, I'm going shopping. You gotta watch the 5-year-old child. So the wife goes shopping, and sisters will tell the brothers, you don't know this. Sisters, how difficult it is, a 5-year-old child, to get something done. See, all the sisters, you guys don't know, man. Just give it to the wives and that's it. So the Imam had to prepare the khutbah, but he's like, good God, what am I going to do with this young, inquisitive boy? So he goes into the room, he gets a magazine, and he starts thumbing through the magazine until he saw what he's looking for. He saw a map of the world, and he tore it out, and he tore it into pieces, and told his son, here's a puzzle. Put this puzzle together, I give you a quarter. It's okay, Dad. So the Imam said, I got rid of him. So he starts, working on the khutbah. In a couple of minutes, the son comes with the map of the world put together perfectly. Every ocean, the mountains, everything. And I said, how you do that? You're 5 years old. He said, Dad, it was easy. You see, when the father gave him the map of the world, on the other side was a man. So the little boy put the man together. And the father said, son, thank you for giving me my khutbah today. Put the man together and the world will automatically come together. One man, Muhammad, one man made the difference. You know why? Because of Allah. Allah gave him guidance. He said, Arju an takunu nisfa ahli Jannah. I hope that you, my followers, will be 1/2 the people of Jannah. I think it's going to happen. Inshallah. Now, how he do that? A lot of times people ask us, how we do dawah? The problem of us is not how to do dawah. It's having the heart of a da'i. Having the concern of a da'i. Most of us don't care about the people. Let's be honest with you. You don't care. We good. I make my salat. I make my hajj. I fast the Ramadan. I'm good. I don't have to worry about nobody else. 1969. I'm a student at New York University. And as a student at New York University, not one Muslim came to me, offered me anything about Islam. But the people of the Nation of Islam, you mentioned Malcolm, they came to the campus. They sat down next to us. How you doing, black man? That's how they talk. How you doing? I used to joke with them. Say, yeah, man, I'm here eating my ham. But you know what? They kept talking to me. And they kept talking to me. They befriended me. They were consistent. Before you know it, I joined the Nation of Islam. I joined the Nation of Islam because they cared. They cared enough to invite me. All those Muslims that were going to New York University, not one of them ever once came to me, even to give me a flyer. Nothing. But the Nation of Islam, they cared. The first thing you have to do as a da'i is that you have to really care. Does anybody know I travel all the time, right? I'm always in a hotel. Anybody know my favorite hotel? Holiday Inn? No. Anybody know? Imam, you should know by now. You've heard me enough. Nobody know? Doubletree. Anyone been to Doubletree Hotel? Why Doubletree my favorite hotel? Cookies. Wallahi. These cookies are the best cookies I've ever tasted in my life. And I think there's drugs in the cookies. It must be, because I keep saying, can I get some more of those cookies? When I was in Doubletree Hotel, I'll never forget this. In every hotel room was a card with a note that said, when you care, it shows. When you care, it shows. I've come to the conclusion that when you don't care, it shows. I feel that we don't care. Listen about what the Prophet said about himself. He said, I've been given 5 things that no other prophet has been given. One of them I want to talk about. He said, every prophet came to their people. I was sent to all of mankind. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ. And when Moses said to his people, وَإِذْ قَالَ عِيسَى ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ يَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ إِنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ. When Jesus said, "O children of Israel, I am the messenger of Allah to you." You know what the word qala means in Arabic? Qala? What does qala mean? He said. Qala, he said. Qalat, she said. But when you say kul, say. It's fi'lu amra, it's command. But see, the Arabic is so precise that you know it's talking about one man. I counted 360 something times in Quran, Allah said, Qul to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Which means you don't have to make nothing up. I'm telling you what to say. Say this, say this, say that, say this, say that, say this, say this, say this. Qul ya ayyuhan nas inni rasulullah ilaykum jami'a. Say, oh mankind, I am the messenger of Allah to all of you. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Walmart. You ever heard of Walmart? You got Walmart? You like Walmart? You don't like Walmart. I'm in Walmart, right? And I'm walking in Walmart. Yes, the Imam goes to Walmart. Yes. A Chinese man comes to me and he says, Assalamu alaikum. I said, wa alaikum salam. There was nothing about him to make you think he's Muslim. He didn't have a beard. He didn't have a kufi. He didn't wear a kameez. And it looked to be his wife and his daughter. They didn't wear hijab, no khimar, no nothing. And he says, should I give him the Islam's back? Should I give it back to him? Why? Because, okay, but the Prophet said, Haqqu Muslimi al Muslim comes. The right of a Muslim is 5. First one he mentioned, Raddu Salam, returning the salams. No, they asked me. He said, I'm a Muslim from China. And I'm here in America for 2 weeks. Where can I find halal food? You want to judge him. You want to judge him. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, he said, someone asked, Ay Islam khair, what Islam is best? He said, Taqru salam, tut'imun ta'am wa taqru salam ala ma araftum wa ma lam ta'rif. The best is to feed people and give salams to those whom you know and those whom you don't know. Chinese man in Walmart in Atlanta, Georgia, giving me salams. I said, give me your number. I'll find out for you. I'll call you back. I said, what's your name? He said, my name is Jonathan. I said, no, it's not. Where you from? China. Your name ain't Jonathan. He looked at me, he started laughing. He said, you're right. And sometimes Muslims do that. They change the name, shorten it, make it easier, right? So I said, what's your name? Now, I don't remember exactly what he said, Imam, was something like this. Anjor. I said, oh, Jonathan. That I got it. Now, we have a relationship. We still, once in a while, we communicate, right? They got him plugged in my phone. I gave him the information where to get the halal food. You see, brothers and sisters, you make judgments, and only Allah knows. A man don't look like Muslim. But guess what? I look like Muslim. He gave me salams. He knew I was a Muslim. And I gave him salam because he gave me salams. Last year, we had a delegation from Russia. Came to New York City. We met them. Imams, the media. And we met for about 2 hours. And wallahi, I fell in love with them. Meeting them for the first time, Muslims from Russia. Because it's Ummatan Wahida. Because Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, he is our leader. He is the one who got us together. Now, according to the Quran, the prophets come speaking in what language? We have not sent a prophet except speaking the language of the people, in order for them to understand clearly what you've given them the message, right? You want to hear something ironic and beautiful? For the first time in history, we have a prophet who didn't speak the language of the people, but the people wind up speaking his language. You see, because he ain't a prophet to the Arabs only. He's a prophet to all of us. I drove from Atlanta, Georgia to, from New York to Atlanta, Georgia, 900 miles. I stopped at North Carolina, and I stopped to make salat. So I found me a nice little corner. I make my salat. Allahu Akbar. When I finished my salat, I looked behind me, and about 15 people joined me. Different colors, different ethnicities. I didn't ask nobody to make prayer with me. They saw me, and they started making prayer. A da'i has to be concerned about the people. If you don't like black people, you can't be a da'i. If you don't like white people, you can't be a da'i. If you don't like foreigners, you can't be a da'i. If you don't like Latinos, you can't be a da'i. If you are a da'i, you have to be like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah sent him to all the people. And we now have to do the job after the prophet. The prophet is gone. Who will do his work? and the work that we gotta do, you gotta call these people. See, I don't make fun of people where they are. I don't make fun, you know, in my days of ignorance, right? I saw maybe two men married together, and I ridicule them. I don't do that no more. I don't do that. I don't care what, to me, I don't care what they're doing. I don't care. I don't care what they're doing. I ain't gonna blame them unless I talk to them and remind them and let them know this is the right life. What you look like? Yeah, look at them Kafirs. Look at them those. What are you talking about, man? Look at those Kafirs. No, look at us. Look at us. Look what we're doing. We have a job to do. The people out there, a lot of them, they don't know. There's two kind of people out there. One people, I said the majority, the overwhelming majority of the people, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know about Islam. They really don't know about Islam because they're buying what the media say. And if we're not there countering that, they're going to believe what they say. And then there's some people who know exactly what they do, and I'll give you one example. How many of you ever heard of John Hagee, televangelist? You heard of him, right? You heard of him, right? Now what I do, brothers and sisters, I'll be honest with you, I not only read Quran, read Hadith, read what the scholars say about Islam, I read and listen to others to see what they're saying, to see how I can invite them to Islam. I'm listening to John Hagee. He gave a speech, right? And he said, I'll never forget this. He said, this is on TV. Quoted the Bible. He said, God said in Genesis, the 12th chapter and the 13th verse, third verse, whoever blesses Israel, God will bless. And whoever curses Israel, God will curse. And I said, I used to be a Christian. I remember that. Shaheed, you remember that? I remember. Imam, you remember that? I remember that. See, I'm like this, Imam. If you tell me, I'm going to check. So I got the Bible. Genesis 12, chapter 3 verse. What? You kidding me? You know what it says? Read it. Right there. Abraham. Whoever blesses him, God will bless. Whoever curses him, God will curse. We pray every day. And we say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim. We mention his name every day, every prayer. Why he do that? Then Imam, I followed up. Know what he said? Every Muslim have a mandate to kill Christians and Jews. They know that's a lie. But how many people say it? How many people they lie? They lie against the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They lie against Islam. They lie against Muslims. Paul Sperry wrote another book called Infiltration. He said the problem isn't the misunderstanding of the Quran. The problem is the Quran. He's saying people saying all kind of stuff. Well, what are we saying? Product and the salesman. We have salesmen ain't selling our product. Not only that, we got salesmen. You ever hear Mercedes-Benz? Selling Mercedes-Benz and driving Chevrolet. You ain't using your own product. Now we're going to take a break for like 10 seconds. Can I take a break for 10 seconds?
Please. Even longer.
Everybody's good? Yeah. Now I can keep going now. I'm thinking about you all. You all good? You need a little break?
Yep.
Huh? You good?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Little break, 5 minutes or so.
A little 5-minute break?
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Refresh.